Hey buddy, I'm Coach Frames, and I'm here to tell you why Skate 4 sucks ass. Here, you're gonna learn the basics. You're gonna understand why skate sucks. And if you don't, I'm gonna break your board. Coach Frames, this here game represents everything wrong with the gaming industry today. Another example from a long list that weaponizes nostalgia of a franchise and replaces its heart and soul with a hollow, disingenuous experience. Yeah. This game only exists because EA saw the monetary potential in shoving a cosmetic, free-to-play business model into a beloved skateboarding IP. Heck, they even replaced me, Coach Frames, with some generative AI. This right here is why Skate 4 sucks ass. Before I get into it, I already know I'm gonna be getting comments like, but it's in early access, or why are you complaining, the game's free to play? Like that invalidates any criticism I have against this game. So let me nip that in the bud real quick. Skate 4 is not in early access. It's just the rules, man, to hide the fact that this game is unfinished and underbaked. If a game is selling $150 premium currency packs, if it's releasing a season pass and is fully monetized, then I'm gonna treat this game as if it's fully released. Second is that free-to-play or not, this game has problems, and one of those problems is the free-to-play business model itself, which we'll get to. Now, I get it. This video is gonna rub some people the wrong way. There are a ton of people that like this game and are having fun playing it, which, hey, more power to you, I say. If your skater eyes aren't vibing with my footy...
Footy is short for footage.
Well, leaving a comment would be algorithmic. I usually keep a pretty level head in my videos, but this time, it's personal. I've always been into skating. I grew up on Tony Hawk Pro Skater. I was a skater boy as a teenager when the original skate games came out. I love watching skate videos. I have over 150 hours in session. So that means I'm going to be talking a lot about how this game fails to represent skate culture and its fundamental design choices that contradict the identity that the previous games were built on, all from the perspective of someone who both loves skateboarding and video games. So given that context, you would think I would be the main demographic for a brand new skate game, right? I mean, EA only gave this game the green light because skate fans wouldn't shut the fuck up about it. It was birthed from the passion gamers had for the original trilogy.
It's amazing. We cannot believe you commented this into existence. Amazing.
Now, whether you value skate culture or not, I'm going to prove to you that Skate 4's deviations negatively impact the experience this game has to offer. We all knew that when Skate 4 was announced
Actually, this game doesn't identify with the number 4.
But it's the 4th game in the series.
No, it's not Skate 4. Okay, there are the bottles and everything at me now. No, it's not Skate 4.
When Skate announced it would be free to play, we all saw the signs.
So that's why the next Skate game would be a free-to-play title available to gamers around the world.
We knew it was going to be a fucking disaster, but I decided to wait and reserve judgment until I had played it myself. Well, I got my hands on it, and it is way worse than I thought.
Which one are you? Okay, algorithmic. That was dope.
I'm sure Izzy's been schooling you on how to use your skater eyes.
Remember? Get them on lock.
You're
making it look so easy. Have you done this before? That was dope.
No matter what your opinion is on Skate and yes, I'm going to be calling it that for this whole video, so buckle up. I think we can all collectively agree with what I'm about to say.
Get the fuck out of the way.
Fuck this. Artificially intelligent smiley face.
Looks like you've got it figured out.
Here, you're gonna learn the basics.
How do we go from the legendary Coach Frank,
Oh, hi there.
to this?
My name is B.
The skateboarding culture in this game is so manufactured, so fake and disingenuous. They literally have an AI companion pretending to know what skateboarding is. I tried to come up with a more exaggerated parallel to really hammer home just how ridiculous this is, but I don't even need to. This is so on the nose, so reflective of what's happening in the real world today, where everything is being replaced by AI slop, that you would think this is a parody or a troll, but it's not. They actually workshopped this idea, recorded the lines, and put it in the game. The lack of self-awareness is baffling.
How do you do, fellow kids?
They even try to use skate lingo and slang and fail spectacularly, going as far as to make up their own slang.
Vocab education refresher. Footy is short for footage.
Footy isn't a skate term. Where I live, it means this. If you live in the UK, it means this. I've never heard anyone call footage footy. I even Googled it just to make sure.
There it is. Your very own board. Your key to the city. The most
Don't patronize me,
important
bitch. I can't stand this clean, fake happy, sunshine and rainbows, participation award vibe this AI and the whole game exudes. The infuriating dialogue isn't exclusive to Smiley over here. Every character is like this.
Think you can gap into the street? I do. Yeah, that clip is a banger. Did I mention you have a knack for this? You do.
Spin it.
Everyone
winner.
treats you like a goddamn baby, applauding you for shitting yourself. Woo,
that clip
good
is a
job!
banger.
They all talk to you in this super corporate, HR safe, patronizing, everyone's a winner, encouraging tone, and I can't fucking stand it. God, I miss Coach Frank. Hey, I'm Coach Frames and I'm the best YouTuber money can buy. You may have seen my channel talking about games. Why don't you subscribe so you can learn a couple things from this here old coach? While you're here, why don't you hit that like button and leave a comment? Available now. Get her done with 1-800-COACH-FRAMES. But the dialogue in this game is emblematic of a much larger systemic issue Skate.dot has. The game has a PG filter over everything. It infects this entire game and is the root of its identity crisis that pulls it into opposite directions. Skating is unfiltered chaos. It's gnarly slams, it's not fitting in, it's gritty, dirty, and dangerous. It's all the things that Skate.dot isn't. It tries to ignore the fact that skaters don't fit in broader society. It refuses to acknowledge the misunderstood stigma attached to skateboarding. It avoids the topic of skaters rebelling against corporations and the authority they employ. Instead presenting this super clean utopia, where the sun always shines, where everyone is nauseatingly nice, where everyone fits in, where a city is made just for skaters, where you can never get hurt, and where nothing bad ever happens. Everything has been pressed through this clean corporate PG filter. And it reminds me of something like The Truman Show, where nothing is real, like you're trapped in some sort of skate hell disguised as heaven.
Say something, goddammit! You're on television! You're live to the whole world!
Footy is short for footage.
This PG filter is what makes this game feel so disingenuous. This deviation from the previous games is the exact opposite of what SkateCulture and the older games represent. Perhaps the most obvious casualty of the PG filter is this game's art style. It looks like shit. I mean, what more can I really say here? Skate.dot throws away the old, gritty, more realistic art direction for something more cartoonish and saturated. I guarantee the main reason this art style was chosen was to 1. Appeal to a younger LiveService trained audience, and 2. Because it allowed more flexibility with cosmetics that they could put in the game's shop. Realism just creates more restrictions with the skins they could sell you. But what if I were to tell you that this art style is actually a blessing in disguise? Because who the fuck is gonna buy this? I mean, honestly, look how shit this looks. This looks like something Mr. Slave would wear. Skate.dot basically got the Fortnite treatment from a dodgy alleyway dumpster plastic surgeon in Thailand. If you're gonna copy Fortnite's art style, at least make it look good. I feel like the best way to understand the tonal contrast between Skate.dot and the older skate games is by looking no further than their live action intros. Here are some clips from the old Skate trilogy. Each skate game from the original trilogy has a real-life intro, which involved a shit ton of pro skaters that were huge at the time. If you weren't into skating, you had no idea who these guys were. But that was fine, because the intros were funny and entertaining prologues to the story of each game. But if you were into skating, these cameos felt like the sickest Easter eggs a game could ever have. The fact that these games managed to get all of these amazing skaters to do these intro videos showed the developers were into skating as much as we were and that they actually gave a shit. P-Rod was one of my favorite skaters at the time, so when he just popped up out of nowhere in the original Skate, I was fucking sold. These intros were amazing, but it wasn't just the famous skaters, it was the vibe. They set a tone that would permeate throughout the entirety of each game, and that tone was not giving a shit and being idiots with your friends. Two things that resonated with simple-minded teenage boy ape brains. They were gritty, dangerous, and stupid in the best possible way. These intros encapsulated the essence of skating without showing any actual skateboarding. So, I want you to remember these. Remember the feeling they give you. Now here's the Skate Dot intro.
The skateboard is 7-ply maple, glued and pressed for durability. It is equipped with a T-shaped undercarriage, which allows for pivoting and turning. The combination of these elements create a vehicle of infinite possibility.
What is this? Where are the pro skaters? Where are the shenanigans? Where's the heart? Instead of a well-crafted 4-minute funny intro that set up the events of the game, we got a 30-second PG skateboarding commercial with no pro skaters in sight. Oh, and it turns out that the dot in Skate is the fucking AI.
My name is V. I am an app.
Tonally, the difference between this and the previous intros is so stark that just showing you the difference is enough to get my point across. They did actually make a longer promotional video, which was posted on the Skate Dot YouTube channel, but it didn't even make it into the fucking game. Here's the kicker though, because they wanted to represent the gameplay of Skate Dot in this video, they had to mix in CGI skating with real skateboarding. They even had to put a do not attempt warning when the skater's like jumping off the skyscraper, which funnily enough I wanted to do while playing this game. I think it speaks volumes when the closest thing this game gets to understanding skate culture is in a behind the scenes video of a promotional video that didn't even end up in the game. So why am I talking about an intro so much? Like, goddamn, just talk about the actual game. Well, let me cook. Just like the older skate games, this intro sets the vibe for the whole game and represents a tonal persistence that is inescapable. It lacks character, it lacks grit, it lacks danger, style, authenticity, soul. Here's an example. Skating is dangerous. It can fuck you up if you fall off. So how does Skate Dot represent this core aspect of skateboarding?
If you're wondering why your slams don't hurt, you can thank a local startup called ImpervaTEK for that. They cooked up a solution that allows shredders and stunters to huck with abandon. Don't ask how, it's science.
Yes, science!
That's right, your slams no longer hurt you because of some mysterious tech that isn't explained at all. ImpervaTEK. You take away my physical pain, but you'll never take away my chronic depression. Skating shows a level of dedication and hard work that most people will never understand. You have to put your body on the line, overcome your fears, and be willing to fail time and time again. The fact that this game minimalizes bails and slams by saying, "Don't worry, nothing will ever hurt you in our theme park fun world,"
Feel that science working.
is so counterintuitive to skate culture. The one and only reason ImpervaTEK exists in this game was to cover EA's ass, to minimize the chance of getting a higher age rating and to avoid lawsuits. EA doesn't want the game to be associated with the real-world implications of jumping off a fucking building, something the older games embraced. Hall of Meat originates from Thrasher magazine, showcasing the most brutal and painful slams in skateboarding. Skate used to have its own version of Hall of Meat where the goal was to hurt yourself as much as possible. You would earn points the harder you stacked it. Skate 3 expanded on this by adding a bone-breaking X-ray vision mechanic that added more points the more bones you broke. This made so much sense and is the perfect example of tying gameplay mechanics into skateboarding culture. In Skate Dot, they removed the bone-breaking mechanic and replaced Hall of Meat with stunts because in Sandvan, you can't get hurt, even if you want to.
Today's your lucky day.
Now, I've seen a lot of discussion online about how Skate Dot handles realism. I've seen people say that you can still skate realistically, that people forgot how unrealistic Skate 3 was, and I've seen others say that this isn't Skate and that it's too unrealistic. So let me clear the air and clarify where the problem lies when it comes to realism and whatever the fuck this is. If you like a more grounded, realistic skate style, then yes, the mechanics of the game can facilitate that. You can still attempt realistic lines if you want to. However, this game's realism or lack thereof isn't so much derived from the skateboarding mechanics as it is the obstacles it gives you to skate. Sandvan City is not a city, it's a theme park. A caricature of a skatable city that's essentially just a manufactured playground to entertain the kiddies. The problem with Sandvan is that it's clearly designed with the sole purpose of skating. Now, that might sound obvious, right? I mean, it's a skateboarding game. Of course, the city is designed to be skated. But the game should be doing everything to make you think it's not. It should be trying to immerse you into thinking it's a real city. The map is way too clean. It has no irregularities and textures, barely any trash or rubbish lying around, no wax on ledges. It's something I noticed straight away and is a byproduct of the game both being unfinished and because of the art style it's going for, which doesn't demand as much attention to detail.
And why do I feel like I've seen this map before? The biggest issue I have with SkateDot is its map and level design. This suspiciously shaped map has barely any variety or distinguishing features between zones. I hope you like the city zone because that's all you're getting in this game. Skate 3 had 3 very distinct districts: University, Downtown, and Industrial. They all look completely different from one another and had their own spots that made them all memorable. This map's Battle Royale Island influence means that each zone is divided by imaginary state lines, which breaks the flow between each spot. The old skate games did a great job of funneling you towards specific areas with large narrow hills, pipes, and roads. And this is the worst sin that SkateDot commits.
There is no verticality in this map other than giant buildings. There are no hills to bomb at all, which is probably the reason why they don't have any races in the game yet, but I'm sure they'll add that later. Super wide and empty spaces, massive coloured mega ramps coming off buildings, random objects that make no sense. To me, this is a poor attempt at signposting and makes the city feel disjointed and disconnected rather than it all being cohesive with a sense of flow between each skate spot. It's a constant reminder that you're playing a game, that you're skating a world that was built for you. But the push to make this game more bombastic and unrealistic only exacerbates and highlights just how fake this city feels. The game's map and level design represents the direction this game wants to go, and that direction is away from realism. With its massive mega ramps and climbing up buildings, it's a clear shift to a more simple fun rather than technical skateboarding. Of course, Skate 3 did have spots like the mega ramp and the observatory, but these weren't the central focus of Skate. They were more like in-game area rewards that the game slowly built up to. These spots were also more memorable because they were special. The game wasn't throwing them at you every fucking 5 seconds.
The first thing you do in Skate 3 is get on your board and push. The first thing you do in SkateDot is get on your board and drop into a mega ramp.
The focus on more simple fun is obviously to retain the short attention spans of the demographic this game's trying to reach, because retention is the aim of the game when it comes to live services. The thing that's carrying this game isn't the skating mechanics or the technical skateboarding, it's the over-the-top challenges that involve mega ramps and transitions between building to building, because that's the audience they've decided to target. I'm not saying these things aren't fun, but it's fairly one note, and I wonder how sustainable this live service is if that's all the game has to offer. I mean, how many times can going down a big ramp the right way be entertaining? And if the source of SkateDot's fun comes from giant ramps and not the act of skateboarding, is it really still a skate game at that point? Because you could replace the skateboard with any vehicle or something with 4 wheels and essentially get the same effect.
Yo, do a kickflip!
To me, this looks like a custom Trackmania map that you'd find at the bottom of a TikTok video to satisfy short attention spans. Hey, eyes up here, buddy. I actually think that we'll start to see this game in shorts, reels, and TikToks next to Subway Surfers and GTA 5. There's a reason why these challenge videos get so many views. I actually thought of the perfect analogy for this. The progression of the Skate series is like the Fast and Furious movies. The first few movies are all about underground racing culture and cars, but with each new movie it kept drifting further and further away from its initial identity, until the movies were no longer about racing, it was more about saving the fucking world. It went from racing in the streets to racing between skyscrapers. Does this sound familiar?
Cars don't fly!
Congratulations! You've successfully graduated from the island.
Skate went from like Tokyo Drift all the way up to 10 in one game. Oh god, and don't even get me started on the ImpervaTowers. Great name, by the way. It sounds like a company that you'd see on the hub. Massive yellow asset dumps that force you to use the janky parkour mechanics. I mean, come on, look at this. This looks like something that's been ripped straight out of Sonic Frontiers. Random shit floating everywhere that defies the laws of physics. This is literally an asset dump. So yes, you can play this game realistically, but the game will try to fight you on it on every front, because that's not who the game is trying to appeal to.
Honestly, the game gives no incentive for existing fans to stick around. Why would I put up with a subpar experience when the older skate games are able to practically do everything this game can without all the pitfalls?
The skateboarding mechanics in SkateDot are by far the best thing about this game. But that's not really saying much, considering it's an 18-year-old formula that's barely shown any evolution within this new entry. Aside from a few new smoother animations and niche tricks, the skateboarding feels largely the same. The thing they changed the most, other than ramming it with microtransactions, isn't even related to skating. It's the parkour and movement off your board that's changed the most.
Yahoo!
Goddamn crackheads!
The main issue I have is that not much focus went into evolving the flicker system or its surrounding mechanics. On a spectrum of pure gameplay mechanics, you have the more arcadey style of the Tony Hawk games on one end, and on the other you have the more realistic style that the skate sims like Session and Skater XL offer. The skate games are kind of a middle ground between the two, but when the original skate game came out, well, it broke new ground and was the closest thing we had to realistic skateboarding. All thanks to the flicker system that simulated the motions used in real skating. That's what I found so appealing about this skate series in the first place. Almost anyone could pick up a controller and do something cool, but skating with intention took practice. I wish they continued to push more this way like the old games did, but they went in the complete opposite direction instead. Playing SkateDot made me realize that the skate formula is great, but it's just not for me anymore. In the 15-year gap between this game and Skate 3, the mechanics haven't changed, but I have, and games like Session have managed to evolve the flicker system. Session is my gold standard for skateboarding mechanics, all because of one reason: control. Look, I love the old skate games, but I don't think I could go back and play them after playing Session. First of all, the customizable settings in Session blows SkateDot out of the water. The amount of settings this game gives you lets you adjust to your preferred skate style, whether you want extreme realism or something less demanding and more chill. These settings can drastically change the experience and can appeal to more casual skating as well as more hardcore realistic skating. I know that SkateDot does introduce some settings that can make the experience more realistic, but the two games are night and day. So what do I mean by control exactly? I'll give you some examples. The flick system in Session lets you control the angle your board will spin. If you flick a kickflip diagonally up, the board will dip forward. If you flip straight to the side, then it flattens out, and if you flick it diagonally down, then the board will rocket. Where SkateDot has one set kickflip animation, Session gives you the freedom to change the look of every trick you do. You're able to micro-adjust the directions of your ollies by holding more to the left or more to the right, setting you up for grinds. You can turn on manual catch, which means that you have to flick down at the right time to catch your board after performing a trick. This is really only scratching the surface, but having this much control over your board increases this game's skill ceiling exponentially. A lot of people bounce off Session because it's so hard, but so is skating in real life. Getting better and better at this game is so satisfying and rewarding. And that's why I think SkateDot just won't last as a live service. I put over 150 hours into Session and still haven't gotten bored of it. Because the fun in Session comes from the challenge of the skating mechanics itself. Whereas SkateDot derives its fun not from the skateboarding mechanics, but from the obstacles being skated. In Session, any obstacle can be entertaining, from a simple box to a 10-stair handrail. The satisfaction of landing, say, a kickflip backside tailslide is infinitely more rewarding in session than it is in SkateDot. And this is what I think SkateDot is lacking, and why for me, it's one of those games you pick up, play, and instantly forget about once you put it down. So, all of these issues with the game, the art style, the AI coach, ImpervaTEK, the city and level design, the PG filter, the lack of skate culture, the barely changed skate mechanics, all culminates into a bastardized version of Skate. And it all stems from one core reason underpinning the SkateDot design philosophy: money. The art style was chosen to appeal to a wider, younger, monetizable audience. The AI coach is an attempt to be trendy and likely a way to cut costs on paying for someone like Jason Lee. ImpervaTEK is to help adhere to an age rating. The clear shift to this more bombastic, arcadey style of skating is to make the game go more viral. The city, level design, and challenges are unfinished and lacking in variety because it's early access and they can fix it later. The PG filter is the opposite of SkateCulture, but they still try to capitalize on the nostalgia of the old games. All of this is in service of the store and is the cost of building a game made for money. I don't really need to go into detail here. I mean, you've seen this store a million times in a million different games. It has all the hallmarks of a free-to-play game that you would expect. Now, I should be clear, I don't hate live services, and the model can work if it supports the vision of a game. This is not one of those cases, however. The live service model just doesn't mix with a skate game, or at least the way that it's been executed in this one. It dictates the variety of challenges, interferes with progression and rewards. It's used as a convenient excuse for having an underbaked city, missing features, tricks, and game modes. There's no skate. There's no skate in a skate game. No Hall of Meat, no story mode, no races. Don't even get me started on the always online requirements. Getting footage for this game was a fucking nightmare. Every time I wanted to play, I would get disconnected, and every time it made it harder and harder for me to get the motivation to attempt to log back into this game and get more footage.
Footy is short for footage.
I'll fucking kill you. And look, if you don't really care about everything surrounding this game, if you can look past all of this stuff and just enjoy the skating mechanics, then that's great, but I can't. If SkateDot is anything, it's a case study of how gaming has changed in the last 15 years. Skate 3 and Skate 4 are completely different experiences. Games act as timestamps and reflect what gaming was like during that period of time when they released. While changes in the industry are slow and hard to notice as they happen, when we look at the contrast between the skates of the past and the skate we get today, the difference couldn't be more stark. And it really illustrates the sad AAA reality that we live in today. I would far rather just preserve the legacy that Skate left behind than for it to be resurrected as this soulless corpse of a game. There is so much wrong with SkateDot, but I really had to just cut it for the sake of time. All you need to know is this: SkateDot isn't a skate game. It's just a game with skateboarding in it. You like my outfit? I got these shorts from the kids section at Target. I had to wear them backwards though, because they got this like girly pattern on them. Yeah.